Hello, lovely people. I was hanging out with one of my friends recently, and she wanted to smell some of my perfume. She was having a sniff, and she was quite clear she doesn't like Gourmands. Now, I don't think she's in the minority here, and I think that for people who don't enjoy gourmand perfumes, perfumery is becoming a little bit unattractive in how much of it is focused on things that smell like literal food, or things that, even if they don't smell like literal food, are like insanely sweet. So I went through and I was having her smell a few of my perfumes, and just for a laugh I was putting some in that were really sweet and gourmand, and it was, she really doesn't like them. So I thought, even though I do like some gourmands, I definitely didn't used to enjoy particularly sweet perfumes. I didn't really like creamy perfumes. My taste has changed quite a lot and developed, but I'm still not always a lover of extremely realistic, literal gourmands. And so I thought, let's make a video for the people who do not like gourmands. I think I've got a nice selection here. I think most of these are super affordable. You can get probably a lot of these in just more than the UK, I hope, but hopefully there'll be something that can catch your eye. So I'm going to start with this guy. This is Sikanos from Corrèze, and my friend really liked this one. As soon as she smelt it, she really enjoyed it. I'm going to throw the notes up so you guys can see. This has top notes of freesia, watermelon and bamboo, middle notes of lotus, salt and mimosa, base notes of musk, sandalwood and cedar. And this is one of those perfumes that smells like a holiday to me, and not in a kind of I'm on the beach covered in vanilla kind of way that is trendy at the moment. This is fresh, a tiny bit fruity in a watery way, a little bit salty but not too salty. It's got a tiny bit of a sort of lotiony quality without smelling like a literal suntan lotion. It's got this slight powderiness, a little bit of greenness, a little bit of woodiness and a little bit of muskiness. There's just everything in this that you could imagine would be beautiful. It's kind of hard to explain how it smells, but I do think if you think of like wearing a very expensive, nice body lotion with a bit of a sea breeze, surrounded by lovely florals and nibbling a little bit of a not too sweet watermelon, it's got that kind of feel. And I just think that Sikanos is such a wonderful perfume. As soon as I tried this one, I was like, this is for me. And I fell in love with a few Corrèze, perfumes. So yeah, I think this is a really nice one, and my friend was super keen on this. So this is lovely. It's holiday-like without being vanillic or coconutty. This next beauty has been with me for a little while. This is Jeanne from Lanvin. It's a really heavy bottle, my goodness, now I'm holding it up here. So this is what I think of as being a raspberry and freesia musk. It does have lots of other notes, I'll put them up on the screen. So its top notes of blackberry, pear and lemon, mid notes of raspberry, peony and rose and freesia, and base notes of musk, sandalwood and amber. But this perfume, I mainly get that lovely kind of raspberry-blackberry combination. There is a hint of pear, but the freesia to me is the strongest floral here, but it's really soft. I am quite fussy about florals. This is not screechy, it's not sharp, but it's not too sweet. It has a creamy kind of bar soapy kind of musk in this that's absolutely gorgeous. And honestly, this is such an easy wear. You smell fresh, you smell pretty. It has that effect, I'd say, of being a little bit like wearing a shampoo-y perfume, so you smell like you're out of the shower, without actually having the texture of a shampoo-y perfume, which I cannot abide myself. So yeah, Lanvin's Jeanne is just a fantastic perfume. Again, it's super affordable, it's really nice. I haven't got it with me, but the kind of sister to this perfume I think is Modern Princess from Lanvin, and I talk about that one all the time. That's one of my favourites. That's basically a red apple and freesia musk. So wonderful. So yeah, really gorgeous, lovely non-gourmand. What we have here in this absolutely glorious bottle is SJP, or Sarah Jessica Parker's A Lovely Summer. I love the colour of this bottle. I do not think it matches the juice inside. I think that really the way that this smells, I would have this in a amber or like a brown glass bottle. So yeah, this essentially is a kind of golden spicy musk. If you like things like Erin's Amber Musk, but you don't want to spend a fortune, this is going to be up your street, I should imagine. So A Lovely Summer is notes of musk, ambrette, cardamom and bergamot in the top, mid notes of frangipani, spices and white blossom, base notes of skin, sandalwood and amber. And it does have a feel of classics, like, it's not quite Jovan musk levels, but it is a little bit like wild musk from Coty. It has that kind of feel, but a bit more spicy. It's warm, it's cozy, it's totally inoffensive. It really is a very pretty golden kind of Egyptian musk smell, but it's quite spicy. So it's really fabulous for autumn and winter, and it's just a very, very pretty skin scent. It lasts on me for quite a long time. But yeah, this is a really beautiful musk if you like these kind of golden musks. So that's A Lovely Summer from Sarah Jessica Parker. So this dark beauty is Lalique's Le Parfum. Now, this is proof that you can wear a vanilla perfume without smelling gourmand, because this is a green non-gourmand vanilla. Now, my bottle here is really dark because this is a vintage one. I do also have a non-vintage bottle which doesn't look like this. So if you get a lighter one, totally normal. They smell very, very similar. This is just aged. So Lalique Le Parfum has a bay leaf note in it, which is super interesting, and it has a kind of sheer vanilla that is slightly sugary and lovely, but does not smell like it's edible at all. I really love these kind of vanillas. If you like things like Eau de Well, for instance, from Diptyque, you'll probably quite like this perfume, and you can get this absolutely beautiful bottle for a really affordable price. So Lalique Le Parfum is bay, pink pepper and bergamot in the top, heliotrope, almond, jasmine in the mid notes, base notes vanilla, tonka bean, sandalwood and patchouli. Now, I don't really love patchouli, but I don't get lots of patchouli in this. I get the bay, I get the heliotrope and almond for sure, a bit of pink pepper, and then this beautiful combination of vanilla, tonka and sandalwood in the base. It is just so classy. Oh, it's so chic and it's so unusual. It doesn't smell like your average everyday vanilla. It's really, really special. So that's Lalique Le Parfum, and I just think it's fantastic. This perfume is truly special. This is Oxygene from Lanvin, and this is the Oxygene for women. The men's one has stripes across it, so you can make sure you don't get the wrong one. It has this fantastic bottle which I love. I do actually have a dent in this, but as you can see, like the glass goes underneath the plastic lid. So anyway, I love this perfume. This is another kind of slightly bar soapy musk, but it is a lactonic musk. So it has a milk note in it, but it is not at all gourmand. It's kind of a little bit sugary, a little bit sweet. It smells cold. There's iris in here. Let me just put up the notes so you can see. So in the top, we've got Indian white pepper and bergamot, mid notes of milk, gardenia and rose, base notes musk, iris and white sandalwood. And this is that classic mixture of musk and sandalwood with gardenia that I find often smells like a kind of delicious creamy bar soap, clean and fresh. This also smells like there is a glass of ice cold milk that's had a big like tablespoonful of sugar dissolved in it, without again smelling like it's literally a gourmand. It's so magical. This is from the very early 2000s, and it's just such a special and interesting perfume. It's very affordable. It lasts forever on me. It's very strong. You don't need loads. And it kind of smells like you're in this really beautiful spa. I feel like people used to talk about this as being an aquatic, but it is quite strange because it's also like a slightly lactonic aquatic, but it doesn't have the kind of lactones in that you get now that smell literal and some people think smell sour and gross. It just gives it this kind of creamy musky scent. Oh, it's just such a special perfume, and I find it incredible that I don't see billions of people talking about this because for the price, it's so special. And look how cool this bottle is. I mean, it's just wonderful. So that is Oxygene from Lanvin, and I mean, Lanvin make great perfumes if you don't like Gourmands. They honestly, they have so many good ones. Lalique has some good ones as well, so you know, just a bit of a hint there. This tiny perfume, I think, is probably a dupe of Petite and Maman's from Bulgari, which is a perfume designed for mothers and babies. So this one, this is called Versette Petite, and I got this one just to, you know, check it out, see what it was like. I was kind of interested. And I'm obsessed and I love it because it smells a little bit like a perfume I have and I love but is sadly discontinued called L'Eau Blanc from Lolita Lempicka. I'll put a little picture up here so you can see the beautiful bottle. And I've been talking about that quite a lot on my channel, and obviously it's a shame when I can't recommend something that smells like a discontinued perfume. This actually smells quite similar to that. So the notes they give you are bergamot in the top, chamomile in the mid, and iris in the base. But this definitely smells like there's something violety in here. I'm fairly sure there's definitely powdery notes because this has a baby powdery kind of smell. But it is the best violety, irisy, chamomile-y, sweet, baby powdery kind of smell. Oh, musky and sweet and pretty, so cozy and comforting. A friend of mine at work smelt this and instantly went to order it because it is just so lovely, delicious, and it's so ridiculously inexpensive. It's like, I think this cost me maybe £3 or something for a 15 ml, but you can get much bigger bottles than this. So yeah, if you like baby powdery, clean scents that are kind of sweet, definitely try Versette Petite. It's wonderful. Really, really impressed by this tiny little perfume. I probably don't have to tell you how much I love this perfume, which is Mediterranean by Elizabeth Arden, because you can probably see, you know, the dent going on here. I'm obsessed with this. I love it. It's one of my top 10 for life. I absolutely cannot get enough of Mediterranean. This is one, actually the same as Oxygene. Make sure if you're going to buy this, you buy it new. It's not expensive, but try not to buy used bottles because they can go a bit peppery if people don't take care of them, both Oxygene and this guy. So Mediterranean has notes of plum, Sicilian mandarin and peach in the top, mid notes of wisteria, magnolia and orchid in the mid, and then base notes of musk, sandalwood and amber. So I get the wisteria and I love those lovely delicate purple florals. I love lilac and wisteria. I really get a beautiful juicy plum. I think the peach here is actually supposed to be peach sorbet, and it's a special kind of plum. There's also definitely a slight sea breeze note in here, which is just spectacular. It's not super salty. It just kind of smells like you're on the coast, but not actually on the beach. And I mean, it's just so special to me. It's another one that's quite sweet. It's like a mixture of being slightly powdery while also having this almost aquatic, fruity feel to it. I just love this. I think it's extremely affordable. It's really good value. It's very ladylike. And I just can't get enough. It drives me kind of mad because it's actually much more of a turquoise bottle. It always comes out blue when I record it, but this is actually beautiful turquoise. Fantastic bottle, fantastic perfume. Absolutely one of my all-time favourites. So that's Mediterranean. This randomly is a perfume from Victorinox, the Swiss Army people. So this is called Forget Me Not, and it is a really pretty kind of shampooey floral, but again without the literal texture of a shampooey perfume, which I tend to find a bit screechy. But this smells fresh. It's like you've just washed your hair, had a shower, and you smell like actual springtime. It has bergamot and pink pepper in the top, mid notes of forget-me-not and hibiscus seed, base notes of angelica and cedar. And I'd say it doesn't literally smell like there's violet in here, but it does have the kind of feel of a perfume that has a lot of mixed up white and purple florals. It's very pretty, and what I like about it is it's not too screechy, it's not too sharp, it doesn't do that thing that some white florals do where it turns into smelling a bit like white wine or something. but it's also not sickly sweet. It's that perfect balance, slap bang in between. And it lasts for quite an impressive amount of time on me, this one. So I just kind of got this as a blind buy and then totally thought it was amazing. So yeah, Forget Me Not from Victorinox is just a wonderful, wonderful perfume. It's got this kind of cool red base as well. So yeah, super affordable, super yummy. You will smell like springtime, like literal spring blossoms and flowers on the bushes. Really beautiful. Next up we have a Britney Spears fantasy perfume, and I do have a few fantasy perfumes, but I'm not kind of one of those people who's like obsessed and collects all of them, because there's some of them, a lot of them are too shampooey for me, but there are a few that I just really, really like, and this is one of them. So Blissful Fantasy, I think this is probably the most mature of all of the fantasy perfumes and smells to me the most expensive. It really is a very beautiful fruity floral. Specifically, it's a kind of, I'd say, a very updated and modern take on something like J'adore from Dior, because it's a white floral with melon. But unlike J'adore, it doesn't again have that kind of white winey smell. It doesn't have any sharpness, any screechiness, and the melon smells modern and kind of candied in comparison. So the notes you have are melon, lily and freesia, middle notes of tiare flower, tuberose and jasmine, base notes musk, sandalwood and orris. So for this one, I often struggle with what I call buttery florals, which are kind of beachy, lotiony, buttery florals. Things like tiare flower, sometimes you get it with tuberose, you know. This one definitely has a little bit of a buttery floral, but it's so beautifully balanced with that yummy, sweet melon note that I just think it works so beautifully. And this is the kind of thing that I would like to wear to weddings. And kind of special occasions in the summertime, because it just smells really classy and pretty to me. I think it's beautiful. I think it's honestly, it's one of the best from her collection. I think it's one of the best value. I think it's quite strong. It lasts quite nicely on me. And I just think it's really classy and pretty. So yeah, a beautiful buttery floral with a juicy, slightly candied, lovely melon. So that's Blissful Fantasy from Britney Spears. Last but definitely not least is this absolute beauty. This is Obsession Night from Calvin Klein. This perfume has been around for 20 years. I mean, actually, you know, a couple of these have been around for longer than that. So it's technically, I guess, pretty much a vintage now. But Obsession Night, very different from the original Obsession. Can you just, I mean, I love the blue. A beautiful kind of blue liquid in a blue glass with a blue lid. I love this bottle. So Obsession Night is somewhere between a kind of very soft, powdery, woody perfume and a little bit of a vanilla perfume. But because, again, there's so many florals and there's so many interesting notes in this, and there's such a kind of interesting greenness and interesting wood, that it is in no way gourmand. But it is very cosy. I think if a cashmere jumper had a scent, it would smell like Obsession Night. So I love this one. Again, my friend who doesn't like gourmands, whenever I've worn this around her, she always compliments me on how I smell. So this is just an absolute beauty. This has notes of white flowers, bitter orange and angelica in the top, bergamot and mandarin as well. Mid notes of gardenia, jasmine, lily of the valley and rose. Base notes cashmere wood, vanilla, sandalwood, tonka bean and amber. Now, personally here, I get a lot of cashmere wood, I get a lovely dose of vanilla, I get the bitter orange, I get white flowers and angelica, the strongest here. The other kind of florals and things I don't really notice too much. But this is just such a joy to wear. It's so cozy. It's so pretty. It has this weird thing when you first put it on. Don't be put off by this, because I actually think it really works. But it kind of has a slight shaving foamy smell when you first apply this, and then it kind of warms up and gets more cozy. But there's something about that slight shaving foam thing that makes this smell kind of feminine leaning unisex. And I think that's one of the wonderful things about this. I think, you know, obviously anyone can wear what they want, but I think you could definitely say that this has a bit of a unisex edge to it. Same with Oxygene, to be fair. And I just think this is just such a pretty perfume. If you know what Le Male from Jean Paul Gaultier smells like. I always kind of think of this one as smelling a little bit like the female equivalent of that perfume. It's got that interesting vanilla in it, but then it also has that lovely kind of weird shaving foam scent. So yeah, I really, really think that Obsession Night is massively underrated. I have seen a couple of people talking about it, but I just think it's wonderful. So yeah, Obsession Night, definitely worth a try. And that's going to be it, guys. I hope that you found this video helpful or interesting. Let me know down below if you're one of the many people who's just not interested in gourmands and is kind of a bit, you know, sick of seeing them all the time. And let me know what your favourite non-gourmand perfume is so we can all share in the comments down below. So thanks again. Please do subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye!